Have you ever ignored something because it was too obvious? Because I very much have. I've been doing minion builds on all kinds of nonsense and have ignored the actual Lord of the Dead. Nekros, a Nekromancer of sorts, and a frame that I used to main for quite a while back in the day of Void Towers. Well, Nekros and Loki. I used to be a big Loki player as well. But that's besides the point. Nekros is the OG summoner thanks to his Shadows of the Dead skill. Now, I have done a Shadows of the Dead build, but not since the addition of a bunch of new minion tech like Summoner's Wrath, so let's give it a shot again and see how much better it got. Shall we? I think the reason why I don't fuck around with Shadows of the Dead too much is because of this build right here. It's like a pretty standard despoil equilibrium setup and I absolutely love it. But today's time for an experiment. Scaling should be pretty straightforward here. You don't want to nuke your duration or efficiency and then you just want to get strength and summon damage. The aura, unsurprisingly, is going to be Summoner's Wrath. There it is. Arcanes are going to be pretty straightforward for a summoner. We're going to run Kamisado and Molt. These provide 60% each when they're fully ramped up. Shield of Shadows is an immense defensive layer and it scales pretty well with strength, so we definitely want to run that. It redirects some of the damage you take to your shadows, so you have to heal them more often, but it's definitely worth it. Rest of our strength is going to come from Precision Intensify, which is simply too good to pass up when you can utilize it. So all in all, with the Arcanes running, we're going to have about 210% bonus strength. It's good that we have a lot of mod space because I want to squeeze in the Equilibrium Despoil combo. It's just too good. You get effectively infinite energy and really good healing as well. I'm not going to pass up on health conversion, it's just way too much armor. Let's slap in Vitality for some health. And I guess we could run Adaptation as well, just have layers upon layers of defense. So we have armor, health, Adaptation, Shield of Shadows, and then Despoil with Equilibrium. Yeah, some efficiency is going to be lovely because Shadows of the Dead is quite expensive, but so is Despoil Desecrate. Like, if you don't pay attention to this and you have zero efficiency, you can actually die pretty fast. Yeah, I mean, sure, bit of extra strength, why not? I would like to keep Terrify actually, so let's replace Soul Punch on config B. There we go. Let's switch Harrow to Corrosive because we get Vital from Nourish. Righty-ho, arise my pretties. Harold already killed everyone, so we're gonna have to spawn them again. Get 'em, my dudes, and do that. Whoa, that's a that's a lot of numbers. I don't even know what's happening. Yes, it's magnificent. Look at my boys are amazing. Don't lick them though. It's a bit of a weird build, doesn't look like much, like we barely have any stats because it's hidden in the arcanes and precision intensify and all that, so while it does not look like much, it is tremendous. No. Oh no, that's the one downside of the build. At the very start you are squishy, but it should be like extraordinarily tanky as we ramp everything up. Like even now, just with the shadows, we should be fine. Wow, they're actually just like straight up destroying everything. What? This is tremendous. I cannot believe how well this works. Like, I know shadow builds were good, but they were mostly used for their defensive properties, right? Shield of Shadows is really nice. And you would like use that to protect yourself while desecrating. But this is actually doing some solid damage. It almost makes me think they've changed the AI somewhat. Because normally the biggest problem with this build was always that the enemies were dumb as bricks. Right? The enemies have to be dumb because there are so many of them. If they were not dumb, they would kill you instantly. So they need to be dumb and give you a chance to survive. Look, I do understand that this kind of a build is not for everyone, but for me, this is peak gaming. I love this. I've always been a massive fan of minion builds, especially in action RPGs, because you can just sort of sit back and watch all the time and effort you put into gathering gear and setting up your character pay off. You can just, sit back and just watch it do its thing. It's magnificent and glorious and beautiful. I actually tend to dislike a lot of minion builds in newer games because at some point developers went, oh, minion builds are boring. People don't just want to sit around and watch their minions do glorious battle. No. Let's make them press a button every 2 seconds or the minions don't do anything and then the minions end up being shitty spells that you have to keep alive. This for me is the perfect farming build because yes, it has desecrate so you get more loot, but I could just sit here for like an hour, 2, maybe 3, no problem. I could just watch the dudes do their thing, pop nourish every now and then, heal them up. This is my thing, this is my jam. Get him, boys! Look at my robots. I'm so happy right now. Like, okay, Caliban is good, right? Ever since they gave him range, dudes. Very, very good. Love it. But Nekros, especially here, because you get almost exclusively cool events, it's just better. Unfortunately, they don't seem to want to shoot melee, so we are going to have to bonk him ourselves. Yeah, they just target random things, which is to be expected. Get bonked! Ooh, that was a big one. Sheesh! So ho ho, here's our Nekromancer setup for Nekros, or in this case Nekros Prime. Don't worry if you don't have the Prime, by the way, this will work on normal Nekros as well. Primed frames are basically just regular frames in fancy trousers, especially the older ones, they don't tend to have that many more stats. For the aura, we have Summoner's Wrath. This gives our minions more damage, very important. As far as the Exodus goes, honestly, it doesn't change an awful lot, so you can just leave it blank and save yourself the investment, but if you want maximum damage, Power Drift is the way to go. Next on the menu we have the Arcanes. This is actually how we get most of our strength. We run Arcane Camisado and Mod Augmented, both of which provide 60% power strength when they're fully ramped up. And finally we have the actual mods. We run Health Conversion, which when you pick up a Health Orb gives you a big chunk of flat armor and it stacks up to 3 times. Now while the stacks are consumed when you take damage, it doesn't actually matter for this build because we're gonna have 3 stacks at all times thanks to the Despoil, Desecrate and Equilibrium combo. Then we have Vitality for some extra health as well as Adaptation for damage reduction. This makes you damn near immortal in combination with the Shield of Shadows Augment, which redirects a percentage of the damage you take to your shadow, so we have layers upon layers of defense, meaning we barely take any damage, even from very high level enemies. The only downside here is that most of these have some kind of a ramp up, so you're fairly squishy at the beginning of the mission, but once you get everything going, you are almost unkillable. Then we have Equilibrium and Despoil, which is a tremendous combination on Nekros. Despoil makes your Desecrate cost health, and Equilibrium makes it so that health orbs also restore energy, and energy orbs also restore health. This is good because Desecrate has a very high chance of spawning a health orb whenever you desecrate a corpse. This provides really good healing actually, constant stacks of health conversion for the armor as well as damn near infinite energy through Equilibrium. And we top it all off with Streamline for a bit of efficiency as well as Precision Intensify for 90% bonus strength for our Shadows of the Dead. Now, since this is a minion build and we're actually scaling companion damage, having a strong pet is extremely good. I run a Hound, Good Boy Harold, that I normally use for priming. I have him set to Corrosive, Cold, Radiation and Magnetic. Now, Harold can rip steel part enemies to shreds even without any additional companion damage scaling. So when I do scale him, he becomes an absolute Hellhound of Doom. This build is not for everyone because a lot of the damage is out of your control. You summon a bunch of dudes and they do their thing. But if, like me, you like minion-based characters, you know, whether it be in Warframe or in ARPGs or MMOs, you are going to love this. It's fun, it's pretty damn strong, it's relaxing, and it has Desecrate, so you get more loot. It's like the perfect farming build. So of course I'm gonna recommend you give it a shot. It's tremendous. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Then, I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.